welcome to this edition of the Farrell Phelps Show. My guest today is none other than Shcikita Thomas. Welcome to the show, Shcikita.
Thank you so
much. We are super excited, number one, to have you on the show. And we're going to get to what the topic is about in just a moment. But before we get there, I want to learn a little bit more about Shcikita Thomas, the woman.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about who you are.
Okay, well, I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, and I was raised in Houston, Texas until I was 8. My parents divorced, and I was raised into Detroit, Michigan. And I went to school at U of M for 2 years. I got an associate's, left. I had a special needs daughter at 21, and was an LPN nurse for almost 7 years until she had to have a trach, and I chose to be her nurse personally.
Amen.
Oh, wow. Okay. You know, I'm glad that you shared that because I did not know that. And there's so much that I don't know about Shcikita that I'm learning in the process. And I'm going to let you guys know a little bit about how we actually met. I got a phone call. Actually, it wasn't even a phone call. I think it was an inbox on Facebook from a mutual friend saying that there was someone that she wanted me to know and to meet and to photograph. Because it was one of the things that was on what we called your bucket list of things to do. And when she shared your story with me, instantly I said, yes. I said, I would absolutely love to do it. Let's do it when you guys want to make it happen. Yes. And so I moved some things around on my schedule so that we can make sure that we made it happen.
And we did.
And we made it happen. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit more information as to why Shcikita is actually on the show and why it was actually on her bucket list. It was on her bucket list because she is a mother of 4 who is experiencing stage 4 breast cancer in the latter stages, and she is truly a fighter. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, after we did the first set of photographs with the family, they were amazing. And Shcikita and I had conversation, and she said, I could do this all day long. I said, guess what? I can too. When do you want to do it again? And so we scheduled another date to take a second set of photographs. And when the world got to see those photographs, nobody could believe that Shcikita Thomas was at stage 4 with breast cancer. Yeah, so it was amazing.
Yes, it was.
And I'm constantly hearing that when people look at your photographs. It's like, there's no way that this woman can have stage 4 breast cancer. I want you to tell me a little bit about how you discovered that you had stage 4 breast cancer, and just speak so that we can all hear you.
Okay, August 24th of this year, I went to the doctor, and I felt what I thought was maybe a cyst. And the doctor told me, let's let you go next door, just do an ultrasound and maybe a diagnostic mammogram. And I said, okay. And their faces dropped. And they said, we need you to come in tomorrow for a biopsy.
Okay.
And they said, we're going to take 4 samples. They took 15 samples. All of them came back positive. Then we had Hurricane Harvey. And I had to wait a week before I was diagnosed officially. And the pathologist couldn't be found. The radiologist said, we need you to come in because this is very serious. And he said, you're at least a stage 3. A week later, I met with the oncologist, and he said, you're stage 4.
Okay. Wow. And that happened in such a short period of time.
Yes.
The stage 4. But you're still here.
Yes. Yes,
You're
I am.
still fighting.
Yes,
You certainly still have folks praying for you because we just got through doing that.
Yes.
You know, and so we have a room full of believers right now who are believing in God's miracles and what God can do, not what man can do, but what God can do.
Yes.
You know, and you know, we had a conversation earlier as well, and you talked about dying with dignity.
Yes.
And I was just like, when I heard you say it, I'm just like, wow, dying with dignity. And I'm thinking to myself, in my human state, how am I going to talk about this? You know, dying with dignity. Describe what dying with dignity is to you.
Dying with dignity, to me, I think a lot of people are confused with it. They're scared of it. All dying with dignity means is when I die, I want to do it my way, on my terms. It's a conversation that all families need to have, Maybe you don't trust the person that would be left in charge. Maybe you do, but make sure it's written down. Make sure everybody knows what you want. That's all dying with dignity means. And if you choose that you're uncomfortable, don't let anybody else be in charge of your care. You be in charge of your care until the last drop.
Wow.
Amen.
You know, and when I think about it, and just my sisters, we got some strong sisters out here, strong sisters,
Yes.
and Shcikita is definitely one of those strong sisters who's doing it and doing it her way. Now I know that you opted out of chemotherapy,
Yes,
or was it radiation?
Chemo.
Chemo.
I opted out of, I did chemo, but I opted out of radiation because I had a reaction, allergic reaction, and I was in the hospital for a week. My body shut down. They wanted me to do radiation at the same time as
Okay.
chemo because of how aggressive it was.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids seeing me convulsing, my head, I couldn't even control my body movements. I was literally hitting my head on the ground, literally throwing up, my body just, it was so sad. My kids said, "Mommy, no more, no more."
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped that and I entered into hospice, and they said,
Okay.
"Mommy, we want to see you like this.
Really?
Is this the last breath? We'll see you like this. Like, it's okay, Mommy."
Wow. Wow. That's really something.
It's compelling.
That's really something. And you know, like I said before, I'm learning so much that I did not know. And I knew that this in-depth interview would show me so many things that I was not aware of as it relates to Shcikita. And like I said, you're a strong woman, but now I'm realizing you're an even stronger woman.
Thank you.
Yeah, an even stronger
Amen.
woman. Yeah. And I know we've talked about your children, and you have 4 children, of which I've had the pleasure of meeting all of them during our photographic session. And they are just the sweetest kids you will ever meet, and super polite. I mean, like, if you do something or say something to them, they'll say, "Thank you, I appreciate it." I mean, like, when and your son did that, and I almost started bawling when the little boy did it. I'm like, man, because you just don't see a lot of children like that. And so it said a lot to me. It's a testament as to the type of woman and mother that you have been to those
Thank you.
children. And so, again, I applaud you.
Thank you.
And there's so much to applaud her for. I could be applauding all day. But you know, I really think it's amazing. And I know you're concerned about what's going to happen to your children after you pass.
Absolutely.
And so one of the things that you put into place, I know, was GoFundMe. I think, because I know we've been pumping that and pushing that on our Facebook pages, hoping that we can get people to make those donations to make a difference. You know, we pay attention to a lot of foolishness on Facebook, but the serious stuff we're not paying attention to.
That's right.
And it kind of made me a little bit upset and perturbed, to be quite honest with you. But we're doing it for a great cause, because we want to make a difference in Shcikita's life. And as long as she is living, that is exactly what she's doing. She's living.
Yes.
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 Yeah. And she's not allowing anything to stop her. And on one of her images, I just had to write it because she was laughing on the photograph, and the only thing I could say was living, just living.
Yes.
And so I wrote that on the photograph, living, because that's what you are doing. Yeah, and I'm so glad I had the opportunity to meet you. And we're not finished.
No.
We're only just beginning. You guys stick around. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Tired of wasting time threading needles? What would you do with more time? Would you spend it with family, grow your business, take a class, or travel? There's a remarkable new tool available to help make your dream for more time a reality. The Easy Needle Multi-Threader was designed for weavers, seamstresses, and quilters to thread multiple needles in a fraction of the time than traditional methods. It eliminates tangles and prevents the possibility of germs and bacteria due to fallen needles and threads onto the floor. It's efficient, it's innovative, it's a time saver. Increase your productivity with Easy Needle Multi-Threader today.
Sky Trues custom eyewear has taken the world by storm. In only 8 months, Sky Trues has gained the eyes of many, including celebs like Big Sean, Little Flip, Destiny's Child, Soulja Boy, just to name a few. Through custom design, Sky Trues can put your imagination on your frames. I bring to you the next big thing in Houston, Sky Trues, created by Golden Boy, the musician, the artist, the entrepreneur, and grassroots marketing genius. Be inspired. Sky Trues, custom designed frames. Sky Trues!
All right, welcome back to this edition of the Farrell Phelps Show with my guest, Shcikita Thomas. Now, for those of you that may be just joining us, Shcikita is a mother of 4 surviving and fighting stage 4 breast cancer, and she's sharing a little bit of her life with us on this evening. Shcikita, if I had a hat, I'd just be tipping it to you right now. You know, I just think it's amazing, number one, that you're fighting, number two, that you're here with us. You know, and I saw you earlier, and you actually had a breathing apparatus on because your oxygen is very, very low at this time.
Yes.
And I want you to tell us how the cancer at this point is affecting your body and where it's located at.
Okay. I have 2 different cancers. In my right breast, I have triple negative breast cancer. In my left breast, I have HER2 positive breast cancer. And they have metastasized, and they are encased in my muscle and in my chest wall. So I cannot breathe if I walk too fast. Basically, it's as I have an elderly body with a young face.
Okay, okay. An elderly body with a young face. And you, again, I say, just looking at Shcikita, you would not know that she was going through this. And I made a statement the other day. When you look at a person on the outside, the outer shell, you never know what's going on the inside.
Amen.
We just see the beauty, and all we see is this beautiful sister.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Yes.
fine,
Yes.
sexy, all that. All that, 3 or 4 bags of chips, some dip. Coca-Cola on the side. But it will throw you off if you just see the outside.
Yes,
So it's amazing. So we can't always judge a book by its cover.
That's right.
And that goes in this situation and others. Now, when we talk about your 4 children, one of the things that I was curious about, in my curiosity,
Yes.
and I made sure that you and I had a discussion before we had this moment,
That's right.
and you said, ask me.
That's right.
And I said, are you sure? She said, yeah.
Yes.
All right. So one of the things I want to ask you, let me ask you this. Was there a second opinion had when you got the diagnosis?
3. 3 opinions.
3 opinions.
3 opinions, and MD Anderson said if we need to take you, we'll take you. But because of the aggressiveness of it, anybody would treat it the same way because it's so aggressive. You can't treat it any other way.
Okay. So the only way to have treated it would be with
Radiation.
chemotherapy and radiation. And you had a reaction to the radiation,
Chemo.
to the chemo,
Yes.
which led you to make a decision that I'm not going to do this based on what your
Absolutely.
children saw happening to their mother,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. And in the beginning, I thought I would just have a mastectomy. That, okay, I'll just get it cut off.
Mhm.
That's fine. No love lost. But then they told me that because it was so big and that it had metastasized, the surgery was not an option for me.
Okay, okay, got you. Now, one of the other questions I'd like to ask you, were there things or symptoms that were taking place in your body prior to you finding out or even going to the doctor and making that decision? Was there something that you felt or anything like that that was different in your body?
I strongly speak out against triple negative breast cancer, especially for Black women, Latino women. It doesn't exclude to Caucasian women, but it's rapid in our communities. I only had a pain in my arm. I had been in a car accident, so I thought that's where the pain was coming from. But it would come and go.
Right.
Other than that, I had nothing to say I had cancer, let alone breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing whatsoever. And for it to be no symptoms whatsoever besides, pain in my arm,
Yeah.
stage 4. So what happens when you stage 0, stage 1, stage 2? You know nothing of that. That's why you must go get checked. Because you won't know. By the time you think you know, it's too late.
Wow. Wow. And that's why this segment was so important to me, that we can get this type of information out to all the ladies. If you have not been checked, to make sure that you go and get checked. Now, did you get what they call that annual checkup type
No,
thing?
I'm
or-
39 years old. If I wouldn't have went in and said, just check this out for me, I would have never known.
Wow.
Wow. And that's another misconception about cancer, because a lot of times the medical community was saying to get it checked at a certain age.
Yes, 40 years old.
At
for
40
women.
years old, and she's right before 40 at 39, and this has happened at stage 4. And I have another model actually that's in the project along with you that you've seen, and she was 27 years old, and she has had breast cancer as well at the age of 27. And so we can't just say wait till you're 40. You wait till you're 40 and you're dead.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
I encourage all you women to go and get checked out. It's
Please.
important.
Please.
And I know Shcikita puts that stamp of approval on
Yes, absolutely. Please go. And if even a mammogram is not enough, ask for a 3D ultrasound, or ask for, hey, I just want to get a biopsy, just to make sure, because a mammogram is 50-50. I hate to say it, but it's 50-50.
Really?
You can check those statistics. They'll call you back and check you again and say, hey, you're a little dense or something else. It's
Uh-huh.
50-50.
that. Now see, I didn't know that. I thought the mammogram did it.
No, absolutely not.
So mammograms are actually 50-50?
50-50.
So you're saying we need to have a more in-depth?
Yes, that's why now they have a 3D ultrasound mammogram or diagnostic mammogram.
Okay.
But just a regular mammogram? No, sir. 50-50. False negative.
Okay. I just learned something
Yes.
because I
And
did not know that.
You have to ask for it, because insurance will say, we're not going to pay for that if we don't have a reason. You have to push for your help. You have to say, hey, you're not paying a deductible. I want it. Order it.
Wow. And in other words, you got to take charge.
Absolutely.
And that's what you're doing right now.
Absolutely.
Is taking charge. Is taking charge. Now you said you were a nurse.
Yes, LPN.
LPN. Now, I, for somebody that don't know,
That's a licensed practical nurse. You have to, for your 4 years is a registered nurse.
Okay.
2 years is licensed practical nurse.
really,
Yes, sir.
that's interesting, and that's good too, because you have knowledge that other people that may have cancer may not have,
Yes.
that
But-
can help you along the way as well,
But
right?
I'm going to absolutely be honest.
Mhm.
Before I was diagnosed with triple negative, I had never heard of triple negative breast cancer. I had never heard of it. I'd heard of all the others, but never triple negative.
Right.
So the only thing, the difference in the medical community is it's just like the other person, unless you've been exposed to it. If you can change a woundage, or I can change a sutural woundage, the difference is just what our experience is. So,
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
don't ever get arrogant and think you know more. Just you have to be in education.
Right. Right. Wow. Now that's interesting. Now, for those that may not know, you said a triple negative.
Triple negative.
Explain what triple negative means if you can.
Triple negative breast cancer means that most breast cancers respond to different hormones in a woman.
Okay.
Estrogen, progesterone, something like that, some type of hormone.
Mhm.
Triple negative says it responds to no hormone in a woman. So they have no hormone treatment to treat it with.
Really?
So it's negative, negative, negative across the board. Wow. Triple negative.
Okay, so once you have that, then you really can't do anything about it.
Once you have triple negative, it doesn't matter what stage you are treated the same way with chemo, radiation, and surgery if you're at an early enough stage, if they can shrink it. If they cannot, in my situation, nothing.
Okay, okay. That's interesting. Again, I'm learning so much about it. Now, you said in your right breast,
Yes,
you have triple negative.
yes,
But you also said something about your left
yes.
breast.
I
Say
have
that again.
HER2 positive.
HER2 positive?
Yes, which means it is responsive to estrogen. They can have, if I was earlier, I would have a therapy called hormone therapy called estrogen that they target it with.
Mm-hmm.
But in triple negative, it's nothing can target it
There is
whatsoever.
nothing that can help that.
And I'm stage 4, so it does not matter
It's
at
too
this
far
point.
Alone.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. You know, it's always interesting. And that's one of the things that I love about the show is I learn so much from so many different people. And I'm certainly learning a lot from you today. And I'm going to learn a little bit more in just a moment when I come back. You guys stick around. We'll be back in just a moment.
Women invest a lot of valuable time in their stylist chair, creating and maintaining a polished image. Having been in the beauty industry for over 35 years, I have witnessed this investment firsthand. Hi, my name is Elizabeth Jackson, and I'm the owner of Interactive Hair Studio. I love doing hair. I love being creative. I love giving someone options. Through the years, I began to notice how much time was being spent threading needles during the weaving process. In salons everywhere, clients were threading needles for their stylists to save time instead of relaxing and enjoying the experience. I knew that this was not the kind of experience that I wanted to provide for my clients, so I created a better way. The Easy Needle Multi-Threader is designed to make the weave installation process faster and easier, all in 5 simple steps. All you have to do is secure the Easy Needle Multi-Threader to a surface, insert the cushions into the unit, slide the needles into the cushions, place your thread onto the dowel, and thread your needles with the Easy Needle Threader. Stylists who use this product will never have to thread another needle in between weaving again. With the Easy Needle Multi-Threader, they can save time, save money, increase their clientele, and provide a wonderful experience for their clients.
Sky Trues Custom Eyewear has taken the world by storm. In only 8 months, Sky Trues has gained the eyes of many, including celebs like Big Sean, Little Flip, Destiny Child, Soulja Boy, just to name a few. Through custom design, Sky Trues can put your imagination on your frames. I bring to you the next big thing in Houston, Sky Trues, created by Golden Boy, the musician, the artist, the entrepreneur, and grassroots marketing genius. Be inspired. Sky Trues, custom designed frames. Sky Trues!
All right, welcome back to this edition of the Farrell Phelps Show with my wonderful guest today, Shcikita Thomas. Welcome back to the show.
Yes.
I'll tell you, we are having such an informative show today, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm learning so much. And what you don't know, and what I didn't share with you, and I'm got to keep myself together when I share this, but one of the reasons why what you're experiencing is so close to me is because I had one of my best friends had breast cancer, and this was like in 2005. And my dad had just passed, and she was going through a divorce. And we decided we need to take a trip. So let's go to Jamaica. So we get to Jamaica, and she said to me, she called me Phelps. She said, Phelps, I feel something right here, you know. And she said, come and feel this here. So I felt it, and I didn't feel nothing. And so I said, well, just promise me when we get back to the States, you'll go to the doctor. And so she promised me that she would go back, go to the doctor when we got back to the States, and I told her I would be there with her and all this, and I did. Turned out she had breast cancer as well. And so I basically chronicled her journey through breast cancer. I actually chronicled her journey through breast cancer at that time in her life, so that people can see what that person would go through experiencing breast cancer. And there were times that she would have me to come to the hospital, and I would say to her, I just can't do it today. And I would muster up the strength to go ahead and do it, because it was one of her final wishes. It was what she wanted. And so I remember one day going to the hospital and taking her pictures, and she said to me, Phelps, I don't think I'm going to make it. And I said, oh, you're going to be all right. And so and I was just that voice of positive energy that always, told her that, and I said, I'm going to be by your side, I ain't going to leave you, I'm gonna be, and I was the entire time. And up to the last day of her life, she wanted me to come to photograph her. And I was just like, I don't know if I can do this. You know what I'm saying? And it just really, it was a challenging moment for me to muster up that energy. Hey, I'm good. I need to be doing that for you. All right? But to muster up that energy to do that. And so every year I try to make sure with the Farrell Phelps Show that we do a show on breast cancer. And we missed the month of October. But God's timing is perfect.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And so tonight and today was the perfect time for this to take place.
Absolutely.
And for you to be here and share your story. Now, I know one of the things that concern you was and is the kids.
Absolutely.
The children. And one of the questions that naturally came into my head, I know you're a strong black woman. We already know that. It's evident.
Yes.
But I wondered about the dad and what role the father is playing in the lives of the kids as it relates to what you're going through right now.
Okay. Well, one of the fathers is passed.
Okay.
And that is who I was married to. After I lost my twins before Rio, he didn't want a special needs child, so we divorced. And God didn't like that, and he passed, unfortunately.
Wow. Okay. Let me wait a minute. Okay. So your former husband,
Yes.
and you had twins. You had a miscarriage, I guess.
No, I was 7 months and had to birth them. One was born alive, and the other one was stillborn. She couldn't make it through the birth.
Okay. And so they passed.
Yes.
And then your next child was Rio,
Yes.
which I've had the pleasure of meeting
Yes.
and photographing. And so the father of Rio
Yes.
said
He did not want a special needs child.
that he did not want a special needs child, and you being the strong black woman that you are,
Yes. Said, when we get out of the hospital with her, you will have divorce papers.
just like that.
Damn.
Wow.
That's right now. Yes.
Got nothing coming.
And you know what? That's what's really that's interesting. That you would reject your seed. You know, no matter what. And
Come on.
but when you're a strong woman, you know what? You tell yourself, I can do it,
Yes.
with or without him.
That's right.
That's my child. That's my baby,
Yes.
and I'm gonna take care of her,
Yes.
no matter what. And you know, I see the way that you take care of Rio, and man, I mean, the pictures we got just so loving and just beautiful, and she's hilarious. Rio is hilarious.
She is.
I mean, she kept us in stitches. I mean, she would just laugh out loud and just and I when I
She's
did it,
delightful.
oh, she's wonderful. And when I finished taking her photograph, she reached up to give me a hug and said thank you.
Yes.
And I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
All these kids just melt my heart, man. You know what I'm saying? And but Rio was just so charming and all of that. Okay, so and that was what the situation was with that. Now he passed away.
Yes, he passed away.
Okay.
And the other is Milan's father. That's my 13-year-old.
Mhm.
He is very active in all of the kids' life. He's like a dad to everybody.
Okay.
So when I am to pass, my father will have financial obligation over the kids, and he will have parenting obligation over
Your
the
dad,
kids.
their grandfather.
Yes, their grandfather will have financial, and
Okay.
then Milan's father will have parenting. He will be the in-home parent with them.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. That is all. And you know what? That speaks to the kind of man he is.
Yes, it
Absolutely.
does.
It
Absolutely.
truly speaks to the kind of man that he is, to take the responsibility, not only for Milan, but for
Yes.
your other beautiful children as
Yes.
well. Hey, give that brother a round of
Yes,
applause, man.
absolutely.
Yes.
And so often we hear these bad things about the brothers, but when we get a brother that's doing what he's doing, he needs to be applauded too.
That's right. That's
You know,
right.
and so I think that's pretty awesome in itself that he is doing that, man.
Yes.
Yeah. And now another thing that I you had a fiance.
Yes, I did.
And now this was really shocking to me, and I can only ask these questions because she's given me permission to ask the questions. So in case you guys are wondering why is he being so in depth and all up in her business, this is what she said to me
Yes.
to do. And so that was puzzling to me. So her fiance, once he discovered the cancer,
Yes.
left.
Yes. Yes.
Tell
And
me something about that.
I hate, all I can do is tell the truth. I'm completely transparent.
Yeah.
I'm just
As
transparent.
I know.
So, I think sometimes people like to look a certain way to other people,
Okay.
and the truth will be revealed. Everything comes to light, and that's what came to light. When it got hard, he couldn't. It told the truth, and everybody knew. They said if it was the other way around, she would have never left you.
Yeah.
Even if we weren't together, I would have never left him.
Right.
But it's okay because God has put all the people I need in my life.
That's
So I'm
right.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And a lot of times when you're dealing with circumstances and situations in your life, you think you need people, particular people that you just think you need or you just have to have. But God will show you that they can be replaced.
Yeah, quickly.
And life will go on.
That's right.
And they'll be the ones to lose out and miss out.
That's right.
And who would want to miss out on this?
Yes.
So it's certainly his loss and not hers. And you mentioned having wonderful people in your life, and I've noticed that. You have some wonderful people in your life. A lot of
Yes,
people.
I do.
Yes, you do. Amen. Touch your neighbor. And pass me that offering plate when y'all. We're going to be back in just a moment. You guys stick around. We'll be back with more of the Phil Phelps Show. All right.
Tired of wasting time threading needles? What would you do with more time? Would you spend it with family, grow your business, take a class or travel? There's a remarkable new tool available to help make your dream for more time a reality. The Easy Needle Multi-Threader was designed for weavers, seamstresses, and quilters to thread multiple needles in a fraction of the time than traditional methods. It eliminates tangles and prevents the possibility of germs and bacteria due to fallen needles and threads onto the floor. It's efficient, it's innovative, it's a time saver. Increase your productivity with Easy Needle Multi-Threader today.
Sky Trues Custom Eyewear has taken the world by storm. In only 8 months, Sky Trues has gained the eyes of many, including celebs like Big Sean, Little Flip, Destiny's Child, Soulja Boy, just to name a few. Through custom design, Sky Trues can put your imagination on your frames. I bring to you the next big thing in Houston, Sky Trues, created by Golden Boy, the musician, the artist, the entrepreneur, and grassroots marketing genius. Be inspired. Sky Trues, custom designed frames. Sky Trues!
All right, welcome back to this edition of the Phil Phelps Show. As I mentioned earlier, my wonderful guest is none other than Shcikita Thomas. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much.
Woo! We are having such an awesome interview, and I'm learning so much. And that's one of the things that I always want to do when I have the show. I want to learn something.
That's right.
And I want knowledge to be spewed out that can help other people along this journey, because it's important that we help each other.
Absolutely.
And these types of stories certainly bless women. And what would you say to a woman right now who maybe didn't get that last breast exam? What would you actually say to that woman?
Well, actually, I'd say to woman and man, because men can get breast cancer as well. I would absolutely tell you, I know you put it off. I know you said, oh, I'll go next week, I'll go next month, or oh, I don't want to go in that machine. But I'd rather let you go in that machine and have a chance than be in my situation. No, there is no chance beside God saying intervention. There is no chance for me just to go in and get a machine and come out and go back to my children. You have the time to go and get this test done, walk out and say, okay, it's all done, it's over with. Please, for me, if not for me, your children, yourself, your family, it only takes a little bit. Please, I mean, endearing to you, please.
Yeah. I mean, And you guys heard it, and you know from firsthand experience what she is experiencing and going through right now as it relates to breast cancer. So definitely you guys need to get that checked out. And I certainly recommend that you get it checked out because it's not an easy thing to go through. It's not an easy thing to deal with. But thank God you got family
Yes.
that, and people that love you. Now, I know your brother.
Yes.
I had the pleasure of meeting him the other day.
Yes.
And he actually sang for
Yes.
you after we did the session.
Yes.
And that was a very emotional moment for you guys.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It was beautiful. And he's saying, I can't complain because of everything that I've been dealt with in my life. I never complain because I always focus on what my children have gone through, what my daughter fights for. How can I complain?
Wow.
Yeah. And that's so true. That's so true. And I was blessed to witness that moment, of course.
Yes.
And I was blessed to record that moment as well. And a lot of times when I'm talking to you about this, it just touches my heart so, and I have to fight, trying not to get too emotional. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling y'all the truth. I just got, I'm trying to be all, you know what I'm saying? But it can really kind of, it can kind of pull at your heartstrings. But I witnessed that, and I witnessed you guys embracing each other immediately after that moment. And you guys said to each other that you were all that each other had.
Yes.
And then you told me another story as it relates to your mom.
Yes. Yes. I lost my mom 10 years ago. And it had to be the hardest thing I've ever went through. And I was an adult and losing my mother. I can imagine children losing their mother. And me and my brother was the only two that stuck together, took care of my mother. Literally, we literally did everything down to her makeup and her hair. And it got so bad to where somebody else was supposed to do her makeup.
Mm-hmm.
They moved her body, embalming fluid came out. They passed out. So we had to finish it. And for it to be so graphic, I say this because we didn't stop. We kept doing what we needed to do because that was our mother. And that's what you do. You make sure you're okay. And you make sure you have each other's back.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. And a family that prays together stays together, man. And it's good that you guys were that type of kids. And I know that your mother certainly appreciated that, and you guys stepping in at that time, because it's tough. It's tough when somebody passes. That's bad enough in itself. But when someone passes and you're the one literally that have to do hair and do their makeup, and then you see something as traumatic as that happening to that body, and that's your mother,
Yes.
that had to be tough for you, as it would be for me. And so again, like I said in the beginning of the segment, you're a strong black woman.
Yes.
I gotta say it again. And I just I wanted to do something special. That was a funny sound. I want to do something special because I know the importance of what you're going through, and I know what's important to you because you've told me what's important to you. And so I wanted to give you something. And so this is what I wanted to give you. We'll start with this one here first.
Okay.
And I'll give you the pleasure to unwrap it.
So pretty.
I need this to be some wine right about now. A little triple sec or something. Like I know what that is, huh, Darcy? Your babies.
Everything I've done. done for my children. I've done for my children. This is my children. And they mean the world to me.
I know it.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome. I'm thankful for having the opportunity to do it. And I was excited about surprising you with that this evening. And I told you I don't want to cry.
You did it.
But I know that would mean something. That would mean rather something to you. And I wanted you to have that.
More than you know.
Yeah.
More than you know.
You are so welcome, and the pleasure was all mine. Believe it, and I feel so blessed to have had the opportunity to take those pictures because I know that pictures say so much, and as a photographer and as a historian in a lot of ways, I know that every picture I take becomes a piece of history, and it becomes a reminder of who was here. And who is here. Amen. And we can never replace that. And I thank God for allowing me to have a career in photography like I do. Yes. And I'm so thankful and so blessed because I get to do things like this.
Yes, you are wonderful. You are so talented.
Thank you so much.
God.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It is. This is good. This is a great moment. This is a great moment. And again, I say I'm just blessed. And that's not the only thing that I wanted to give you today. That's one of the things.
Oh, man.
This is another one. I'm gonna let you do it. Yeah.
Wow.
Wrap your own stuff. And you know, it's just.
For everybody, these are my proofs of my photo shoot. And it was my bucket list. All my life, people said, well, you should have been a model. And I said, well, my baby needed me, so I missed that one. But for that moment in time, you gave me what I felt I missed out on.
My.
I got that back.
Thank you, Jesus.
I got it. And God said, I didn't forget, baby.
Oh,
I
hallelujah.
didn't forget. I knew what you wanted.
Yes.
And he gave it to me.
Thank you, Father.
He gave it to me.
Oh, God
and he
bless
used you. And I'm so thankful.
Jesus.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful to be used.
My
I'm
Lord.
thankful to be used. And like I said before, I'm blessed because I had the opportunity to do it. I'm truly blessed, and it makes me feel so good, you know, to be used as a vessel.
Thank you, Lord.
To ignite this in you. And I'm so thankful. And while I'm talking about being thankful, I also want to thank the person who made this happen, who brought us together.
Yes.
Dale Selders is
Yes.
the one who initially made the phone call to me and said, Farrell, I need you to do this for me. And like I said, it was Dale Selders. And when she told me what was going on, I said, I will gladly do it. When do you want to do it? I'll move things around on my calendar, and we'll make it happen.
Amen. Thank God.
And that's what we did, and we didn't only do it once, but we did it twice.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm just thankful that we were able to do it.
Yes.
And I'm glad we made it through this interview.
Yes.
and all of that. And I also know that Toys R Us is going to bless your children to go on a shopping spree at Toys R Us as well. For the holidays.
Thank you.
And I think that's a beautiful thing. And Adele Sellers also made that happen. And another person that was responsible for making some things happen was Karen.
Yes.
Karen Taylor.
Yes.
Karen was also instrumental. Karen
Yes.
came to the house and she put the Christmas tree up early so
Yes,
that the
she
children
did.
could have
Yes.
the children could have early Christmas.
Yes.
And on the day of the photo shoot, we Boudreaux's restaurant catered a Thanksgiving meal so that we can have Thanksgiving early in case we did not get to have that moment. And it was truly a blessing for us. And I also, along with this, I gave Shcikita pictures of her daughter for graduation because she's graduating. She's 17 and graduating. So she can share these pictures with everybody in her family. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this edition of the Farrell Phelps Show. Shcikita, is there anything else that you want to say to anybody out there watching or listening to us right now?
I want to thank you because the reason why I got this graduation picture is because I might not make it to her graduation. So he gave me that gift as well.
Yes.
So,
Amen.
And you are
Praise
welcome.
God.
You are so welcome. So welcome. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this edition of the Farrell Phelps Show. For more information on the show, you can certainly reach me at Let's Talk About It 12tv@gmail.com. That's Let's Talk About It 12tv@gmail.com. You can also find my shows on YouTube. Simply go to YouTube, type in the name Farrell Phelps. You'll see a list of my shows right there for your viewing pleasure. Until next time, folks, we'll see you then.
yeah.